Welcome back to Built from the Bottom, guys. I'm Reese Bowers, and today we are going to be making a 15-year-old motorcycle look brand new, or at least as relevant to the times right now as possible. This right here is a 2004 Suzuki gsxr 750. It's an absolutely great bike. These are fuel-injected bikes, and they, keep up with all the modern ones right now, to be honest. They're not that much different, and you don't have all that tech and stuff. So this is part 2, and we're gonna just get right into working on this, because this bike is going to be getting finished today. The warehouse right now is at maximum levels of clutter because I have so many things going on. This is what we need to work on today, and the first thing I'm gonna do is figure out what we're gonna do with this frame. So if you look right here, the frame has a whole bunch of corrosion just from over the years sitting outside, and I wanna make this look as OEM as possible. So what I'm gonna do is pop these belly fairings off and start sanding down this section, and we are going to paint the main frame semi-gloss black and also the swing arm. You can see right here, I tried out a couple of pretty much acrylic enamel paints to see what's gonna hold up the best. I would love to powder coat this, but I can't, do a complete perfect build with every single build I do. For the people that are watching that wanna make their older motorcycle look a little bit newer, this is a way to do it without stripping the whole thing down to a bare frame and powder coating it. So let's get into prepping up this frame, and hopefully we can get her looking as mint as possible. This had an extended swing arm on it, so we have this long brake line, and we're gonna be replacing it with a shorter one. And also to get better angle, like when I'm painting the swing arm, I'm just gonna remove this exhaust right here. And I got myself a new toy right here. My girlfriend got me this and a grinder for my birthday. I turned 23 on October 15th. Thank you so much, Marissa, if you're watching this, for the new tools. Let's get this off. As you can see right here, we got a lot of paint chipping and just everything's kind of peeling off of this. So I'm gonna use a pretty heavy grit on this. I'm gonna use 120 and rough this whole thing up, and then we'll come up and probably use a little bit lighter grit on this part of the frame. What I'm thinking about doing for the frame right here is masking it off on this weld right here all the way around, and then probably masking it off from here and painting this section all as one, because this looks all pretty fine, and I just want it all kind of blend. So as long as I just mask it off and paint it from the weld area, I think it'll look pretty natural. Let's start etching this whole thing up. It shouldn't take too long. Pretty much wherever there was oxidation on the paint and it was flaking, I had to sand it down to complete bare metal to make it flat. In this area, I tried my best to get it as flat as possible, but also the wheel will be in here and you really won't see it. But this is pretty flat, even though it doesn't look like it. I just tack ragged everything down. I got this section of the frame. I only really had to strip down to bare metal this section right here. It's the next day, and this frame section came out really, really good. This is a semi-gloss black, and you can see right there, it's just a hair on it. But it looks really good. The paint is still kind of soft. I put quite a few layers on. I put 5 layers on this, and then also 5 on the swing arm. But I didn't really like how this was starting to like orange peel, and there's a couple sections where there was grease and then the paint dissipated away from it and caused like fish eyes. So I just etched this thing back up one more time, and I'm gonna paint it to make sure it comes out really nice. Don't chirp me for, you know, doing it this way. It's more of a DIY. So if you guys have corrosion on your frame, you know, you can make it look really good just with some rattle cans and some semi-gloss paint. So that's what it looks like, and we're gonna do the swing arm, finish it up, then take all this off and start putting the bike all together. After painting it the second time, it laid really flat this time, and I'm really happy with the way it ended up. So now I'm gonna pull off all this stuff right here. It's all dry, and we're gonna start putting this bike all together. Look at the time. Dang, I'm 23. My knees hurt, man. We're getting old out here. Got a new caliper bracket right here because the one that the extended swing arm was hooked up to didn't fit inside the slots right here, so ordered this puppy off eBay for like 15 bucks. Oh, also, my dad got me the 1/2-inch impact for my birthday too. I know he doesn't watch the videos, but I'm really stoked to have this. Really upgrading the tools out here. We got the rear wheel on, and now what I'm gonna do is put on these. I don't think I've shown you guys these yet, but I have custom, well, these are the OEM rear sets right here, and I dropped them off to Nick to go get powder coated the candy red. Next thing, I gotta put the chain on this. Well, since I broke my chain breaker, I need to remove a couple of links out of this chain, and you know, I got all these new tools, and we're gonna remove this the non-conventional way, or as some would say, the bozo way. All right, I got that exhaust on there. Chain guard, also, chain is tight, actually a little too tight now. Let's see. Yeah, I need to loosen that up a little bit. But what I'm gonna do now is I have some LED smoked out turn signals. They're flush, so we're gonna put these in right here, wire them up to the front harness. Sadly, the plugs did not match up, so I had to hardwire them on, but it'll work on this bike because the turn signals are inside the front cowling, so they don't come off with the belly fairings where you can't really hardwire them when they're in with the belly fairings. So now that I got that done, I have to put the air rams in before I can put the belly fairings on. And I'll show you over here what's up with the air rams. They're a little bit sun faded just from, you know, this thing is a little bit older, and this one right here is one that I haven't done anything to. And then this is the one that I hit with the torch. We got the rear sets that are in the candy red, and I also cut out with my vinyl cutter some chrome candy red decals for the There we go, we got the new decals on, and for some reason when you know you can just remake them if you mess it up, they always go on perfect, but if you order them online, you always end up messing it up because you have to wait 5 more days and they just never go on right when you know you gotta wait. Next thing to do, we need to get some grips on this bad boy, and luckily, I always order a whole bunch of grips at once, so let's grab, oh, can't forget the hairspray. Grips on there, and also you just saw I put the rear caliper on, but this brake line for the rear caliper was too short, so I just had to find another one, and this one actually, you know, fits in there really good. Still have to bleed that line, but I'll do that later off video along with doing an oil change on the bike. But we gotta do the last thing now, and that is gonna be put the tank on the bike. Got the fuel pump inside the tank, and then over here, if you guys remember in part 1, there was like a little case breather thing on this right here, and I got a piece of tube just to hook it up. So that's just a random piece of tube that fits, and we got that connecting from the case to the air box, so that's all good. And now we can hook the tank up, and then we're pretty much done. All I gotta do is put the seats on the bike, and then she's complete. We got the finishing touches right here are the seats. This seat was fine, but the rear seat was also ripped up, and Caroline reupholstered both of these in the same matte material for $70. All right, boy, she's done. And the guy once told me when I was riding, just because she's a little old, don't mean she still don't ride good. I think he was referring to a bike. And that's it for right now. I'll get you guys out a video of me riding this thing around in our finished bike videos. And I'll have the white jeans on. And we'll get this bike out of here and get on to the projects over here. So that's it for right now, you guys. I hope you really enjoyed this build. Peace out.